the introductory part of the main body of the research report. Then review, literature review part is there. So after writing literature review part, then design the study. In the designing part, we usually write down the description of the research, design, and process and procedures will be used, sources of data, sampling procedure, sampling technique, the method will be used for data collection, and statistical treatment will be conducted. All this information are written in the study designing part. Then that in the data analysis part, explanation of the tables, figures, and findings, and tables and figures will be placed in the data analysis part. So after data analysis, summarizing the data findings is used in the summary and conclusion part. In the findings part, we usually present restatement the problem, description, procedures, measure findings of the study are rejected or fail or nullifying the hypothesis. Then after findings, we go for concluding the findings and recommendation, further intervention required. Then after recommendation part, we usually provide the references section. In the reference section, we can use endnotes, bibliography, or the list of citations and appendix, the tools and instruments used in this research. So these are all essential part of a formal report. Now come to the point how to write a research article. Previously, we are discussing about a report. This is usually a bigger one, but an article is a smaller one within 1,000 or 1,500 words up to 5,000 words. So in this part, these are the types of a research article, original research article. This is based on primary research. Then review research article, there is a research report. If we write some articles based on that primary research report, it will be a review research article. And then case study, then clinical or laboratory trial report, then perspective of opinion, based on opinion of some experts or stakeholders, we can write an article. Book review, we can write an article by reviewing a books about what are the discussion point of the book, about the previous findings, about the new findings of this book, and what contribution this book has done. So these are written in a book review. We can write analysis article. This is mainly the part of any research, formal research, the finding parts of any formal research. Then we can symposia piece, then interview. We can write an article as an interview format. That we have some questions, we collect reply of a key interview personnel. Then it could be termed as interviews. Then focus articles, educational scholarships article, educational scholarship review, all these types of journal articles are used. So what is the basic part of a research article or journal article? The basic part are title of the paper. In any sort of article, the first part is its title. Then we have to write a summary of the overall article, that is called abstract. After writing the summary, we should determine some keywords to identify the articles easily. Then we have to determine the JEL code, because Journal Economic Literature Code has been classified by American Marketing Associations. So as per classification of American Marketing Association, JEL code could be mentioned in the article, research article, for easy to understand classification of the article and identify the subject matter of the article. Then introduction part of the article, where introductory remarks has been made about the title, then problem statement of the article, objective of the study, methodology of the study, literature review, then study design, data analysis, statistical tools and techniques or treatments has been used, findings of the study, recommendation of the study. Then we go for future recommendation. If any further study is required in this field, then we will write a concluding remarks. Then we provide references part. In the references, we will provide the list of tables and figures. So all these are the essential part of a journal article. Basic format, a conference paper. In a journal article, we saw here lots of parts. So this is a formal part, but where a conference paper, we cannot go for such detail out to present. For presentation purpose and for making people's understandable, then we present only for 5 parts: for abstract, introduction, description of relevant findings, recommendations, and concluding remarks. Only 5 parts could be placed in a conference. So therefore, a conference paper is a smaller version than a journal article or a complete formal research report. Finally, after discussing about the research report from part 1, selecting topics, then determining the types of research, literature review, research designing, data sampling, data collecting, data analysis, findings, concluding remarks, and the different formats of research report writing. Now come to the point, what are the essential part to maintain throughout the study? So this essential part is ethics in research. That means research ethics. If a researcher is not practicing his ethical values, then the acceptability of the research will not be established. What are the criteria? What are the qualifications a researcher should have throughout the research? The first and foremost criteria is the honesty. A researcher should be honest in his position. He should not be including anything in the report or in the study from his own. He should be honest to his findings and should be honest to his recommendations. Then a researcher should be objective rather than subjective. He should not be biased to any particular group of respondent or any particular group of issues. He should be objective rather than subjective. So researcher integrity is important here. Carefulness, whether any unuseful data is here, whether any illogical frame is coming out, whether any unusual tools or instrument is used. Then record keeping. Researchers should record each and every findings and each and every steps clearly so that he can cite, he can prove, he can justify his research findings if questioned. Researchers should be open to disclose each and every findings. Because if researcher hides something, then the real objective of the research could not be fulfilled. Therefore, researchers should be open and not hiding anything. Respect to intellectual property of other researchers. Acknowledgement of the issues, whether he find anything from anybody else. Researchers should maintain the confidentiality of the research process. Then, responsive to publication. Researchers should be liable, should be honest, should be responsive to his publication. Responsive, careful about the monitoring or mentoring, social responsibilities. He should think of what are the social responsibilities he have to maintain. Then after social responsibility, he should maintain his non-discrimination part. Because if researcher provides discriminatory treatment to any particular segment or any particular group of people, any particular group of stakeholders, then the original purpose of the research will be failed. Therefore, a researcher should be non-discriminating to anybody, any stakeholder group. Researcher should be competent enough to conduct the research individually. Then he should be careful about the legal rights, legality, what rights he has, and he should maintain the other people's rights. Not only people's rights, also if the research is with animal, then obviously he should maintain the responsiveness or the rights of the animal he is using as respondent. Then researcher should be should be concerned about the human rights or human protection, neutrality, then benefit of the human, how the overall humanity will be benefited from his research. The researcher should be careful about that. Researcher should ensure justice to everyone. Every stakeholder will be seen from a single eye. He should not be any partial or biased to anybody. He should maintain justice to every stakeholder groups. Then disclosure, disclosing everything he find out, and disclosing everything could be used for the well-being of human civilization. Then respect to the respondent's liberty, because if researcher disclose anything about the respondent, then respondent, it may be harmful for the respondent in future. He might be in trouble. Therefore, a researcher should maintain confidentiality of the respondents of his research. So all this quality, all these ethical issues should be maintained by a researcher. Therefore, a researcher should have all these ethical criteria and quality. He should be careful enough about his research. With these few words, thank you very much. Thank you for your patience here.